Roger Goodale is a motherfucking crook. I'm not gonna go to his office. If anything, he needs to come to my home.
Yo, what's up, people? It's your boy. I'm Christy Dom One, and I am back with another video. Now, what we're going to be talking about in this particular video is the Players Association versus Roger Goodale. Now, in this latest drama between the two parties, there was a couple of players that were named and labeled in a report that the report claims that they use PEDs. Now, they had some big names on that list. One of the big names was Peyton Manning, James Harrison, and Clay Matthews. Now, Peyton Manning has retired, so technically he really didn't have to honor the respect and the wishes of Roger Goodale. But he went on, reported to him, and answered Mr. Goodale's questions. All right? So now we're talking about Clay Matthews and James Harrison as well as others. And they had a August the 28th deadline to report. And if they did not report it, they were going to be suspended. Now, for a couple of weeks, one player in particular, James Harrison, has been on this campaign, pretty much saying Roger Goodale has too much power. Roger Goodale is indicting people before they have an opportunity to present their side of the case. This, that, and the third, taking everything to the third power. And basically challenge Roger Goodale, saying that, I'm not going to go to Roger Goodale's office. If anything, Roger Goodale needs to come to my home and discuss the matter. Now, we're getting close to that deadline. Now the players decided, you know what? I'm going to go see Roger Goodale, all right? Because they realized them pockets were going to be burning. Not only they have to pay a fine, but they was going to be suspended, all right? So James Harrison is back on his campaign again and basically saying that, calling Roger Goodale a crook, all right? Now, I don't understand why he's calling him a crook, because if you're calling someone a crook, you're pretty much implying that they stole something from you. Now, James Harrison, if you want to find out who stole whatever from you, I think you need to look in the mirror and at the Players Association. Now, let's talk about the Players Association versus Roger Goodale. Why the Players Association have beef with Roger Goodale. Now, the Players Association believes that Roger Goodale has too much motherfucking power, and he's judge, jury, and executioner. And they feel like, if a player is in trouble, the first person that they go to is Roger Goodale. Because, once again, Roger Goodale is judge, jury, and executioner. So they feel like they should, the Players Association feels like Roger Goodale should hire a panel to handle certain matters. Roger Goodale said, no, he's not going to do that, all right? And he has every right to say that, okay? And here is the reason why. Now, you see this all the time. You have two sides. And in order for the two sides to coexist, they have to have a contract. They have to have litigation that sets boundaries. Now, in a contract and in a discussion in creating a contract, both sides have their own different types of matter. They have their own different types of things that they want applied in the contract. Now, you're not going to get every fucking thing, especially the Players Association, because basically it's millionaires versus billionaires, okay? Now, millionaires cannot afford to strike. Now, there are certain players in NFL that can take a year off and they won't lose shit. But then you have other players that are the majority who needs these motherfucking checks, okay? So it's not like they can do a year-long strike and they're going to, be all right. No, it's not going to work that way. Even though the Players Association has a trust fund in case they do go on strike, but you have to remember there are a lot of members in the Players Association. Eventually, that trust fund is going to get smaller and fucking smaller and smaller and fucking smaller. Now, DeMar Smith, who got hired by the Players Association, he represents the Players Association, and right now he's looking real fucking bad in the worst fucking way. And why I say that is because DeMar Smith has been taking a lot of motherfucking L's. Adrian Peterson, just to name a few, Adrian Peterson, as well as Tom fucking Brady. He's been taking a lot of motherfucking L's, all right? And he's been winning a few battles, but he's been losing a lot of motherfucking wars, okay? Now, back to the contract. The contract, you negotiate what you want, they negotiate what they want. Now, you don't get everything, so there are going to be certain things you're going to have to give up in order to get what you really want. And what the Players Association really wanted was a stake in the revenue. That was their major hiccup. So they gave up all this power to get a stake in the NFL revenue, because the NFL is a cash fucking cow. I mean, they spit out and shit out millions upon millions of dollars just because they're the fucking NFL, all right? So the Players Association want a stake in that. So in order for them to get a stake in that, they had to give up certain things. Now, one of those things was the control and how they punish players. They gave that up to Roger Goodale, all right? And Roger Goodale, like I said, is judge, jury, and executioner. Now, at the time, they didn't give two fucks about this control, all right? All they was thinking about is dollar sign. That's all they was looking at. And just like every contract, both parties sign, and everything's cool. You get your what you really wanted. They get what they want, and everyone moves on. But that contract gets old real motherfucking fast, real motherfucking quick, when you realize that, yeah, I got this revenue, but I don't have no voice in any type of opinion. I don't have any control on anything that they want to legislate, okay? And that's the sticking point with the Players Association. They want to get that option back. And the only way they're going to get that back is to take Roger Goodale to fucking court. Now, like I said earlier, DeMar Smith has been winning a few battles, but he's been losing the war in a big way. He's been taking a lot of L's. Fuck Meek Mill. He's taking more L's than fucking Meek Mills. I'm sorry. It's just the honest to God truth. All right? So now, just like every contract, like I said, it gets old pretty much fast. And now the Players Association wants to somehow, some way gain some type of respectability, some type of control, some type of option by taking Roger Goodale to court. Now, the problem with that is, yeah, you're a millionaire, but these lawyers cost a lot of motherfucking money. And these owners are billionaires, okay? So everything Roger Goodale says and does, it's coming from the owners. So if the players have a problem, they should have a problem with the owners. Roger Goodale works for the motherfucking owners, not the players. And that's where they get the shit all twisted up. You know, in the beginning of this contract, everybody's cool with it, all right? And I first like to say, for the record, who in their fucking right mind signs a 10-year contract that you have to honor? Do you realize that 10 years is a motherfucking decade? Do you realize how many changes shit happens with lifestyle, economics, technology, revenue? That shit changes constantly. It doesn't stay the same way each and every year. If anything, the Players Association should have signed a shorter contract. That way you can fill this contract out. And if you feel like this contract is not working with you, if you feel like this contract is not agreeing with you, then when you're in the bargaining table with the owners and Roger Goodale, then you have an option to change the narrative, to change the discussions, to bargain for another new contract and add stipulations to what you want to do when you're talking about punishing players, changing league rules, this, that, and the motherfucking third. But the Players Association, they're stuck. They're stuck behind a motherfucking huge ass 8 ball, and it's not going to ever change. And even though when they're done with this 10-year contract, chances are the next contract is going to be pretty much similar. Okay? Roger Goodale is still going to have that same fucking control that they dislike right now. He's going to have that same type of control. Now, there may be some parameters in it, all right? But the Players Association represents the whole, not the few. And the Players Association represents people that have to fight for their jobs every motherfucking year. You know, everybody in the Players Association ain't like fucking Tom Brady, married a top flight model and make millions upon millions of dollars on and off the field. A lot of those players don't fit in that fucking category. A lot of them players have to work hard for their motherfucking paycheck. So the Players Association is going to represent those individuals. And those individuals don't give two fucks about how much control Roger Goodale has. How much control Roger has in punishing players. Because those players are going to be in the straight and narrow anyway, because they're fighting for their livelihoods. They don't have a guaranteed spot, okay? So they're not going to have an issue with Roger Goodale with certain parameters in the contract. All they caring about is revenue. They want a split in the revenue. Now, they want like a 50-50 split, and it would be great if the players can get a 60 or 70 type of split, which is not going to fucking happen. There's no way in the world the owners are going to honor that. But they want to get as close to 50 as fucking possible, because the more revenue the Players Association collects, the more money is in everyone's pocket that's not a star quarterback or a star running back or a star receiver, you know, that's in the trenches, that's in the line, that's in the offensive line, defensive line, that's on special teams. Those are the players that's going to vote on all of these issues. And those players only really care about the fucking revenue. But guys, tell me what you fucking think. Rate, comment, subscribe. It's your motherfucking boy. I'm Chris the Don 1, and I am out of here. Peace.